In today's video, we're going to go to Wellingborough Museum and learn a good bit about history. We'll be learning stuff from about the World Wars, all the way to the Great Fire of Wellingborough. So, let's get into it. Let's head in. So we enter the lower gallery first, and immediately on the right is some amazing little trinkets, such as an old typewriter, Bitsman's Business Typewriting book, and then also some air raid stuff from the Battle of Britain. Further down we have some more World War II memorabilia, including army hats, ammo crates and other stuff. We also have the uniform of the Wellingborough Red Rail Band on display, as well as some of their drums. As we continue, we find this old-fashioned vehicle or tricycle which you power using your hands. I'm being rather quiet to be respectful to other people in the museum. Over here, even more military stuff, including a pencil made from a bullet, letter openers and all other little bits they would have used. We've also got some very old cameras. Down here we have some different swords. Sword used by a Northamptonshire regiment officer while serving in France during the First World War. Oh, so maybe their First World War. When the Britons they go. But yeah, this is incredible. Here we have some bits of the Volta Tower. An old tennis racket. Memorabilia from the coronation of King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra, as well as some more swords, some lovely old Chinese bits, well not Chinese, China even, some old plushies, and all different bits that were used within the household back in the day. They've even got an old coal cooker. In here we've got some bits about the history of Northampton, where I live, which is famous for its shoes, and actually the production of shoes. So as we move along, we're further away from people, so I'll raise my voice a little more now. We've got a thatching needle, I never said noodle. Cell door from the old police station in Silver Street, now the Redwell pub. Please do not look for the keyhole. Oh, there's a little dead body in there. Like a little skeleton. Some old farming equipment. Support British farmers. Some old, lovely antique, little wagons and stuff. This one belonged to a plumber. Here we have a tensile testing machine used to test the strength of a lever. Armoured casing for a water pump. Now here is Wellingborough's Great Fire of 1738. This is a map of what happened. You can pause it now if you want to read it. Oh, it's lighting up. That's clever. That's actually really clever. On this side we have a bust of Sir Christopher Hatton. All different coins, belt buckles, horseshoes, stuff like that here in this section. As we come down here, we've got the workings of a clock. And we've got Dr. Corbett's surgery. Whoever Dr. Corbett was, probably some major historical figure. Then here we have little bits of broken pottery and some belt buckles, more coins, stuff like that again. Then we have a display dedicated to Her Royal Highness Prince Diana. So we've got all different bits from different war stuff, including brass knuckle dusters used by Thomas Edwin Allen during the First World War. Got all sorts of different bits here, including a seat from the rear of a First World War aircraft. And we've got different Roman era stuff, I assume, including a Roman Centurion Guard's armour. Then over here we have different bits of stonework, stuff like that. So that's quite cool. And some of old really nice trinkets. Down here we've got a soldier in uniform. Different medals. More medals down there. And all different bits. Then over here we have the remains of a human body. That's an actual human. To think that was a person. All of these are bones from Willoughby Way, from the Iron Age, it says. And then over here we have some fossils, mammoth bones, part of a mammoth tusk. Wow. Then we have what I think is meant to be an Iron Age person. So that's quite cool. And now you've also got different types of ammonite. Now let's head upstairs. We've got all sorts of old machinery and games here, which is actually really cool. Some old train memorabilia, different mechanical bits. That's actually really cool, I like that. Armour with a helmet and different swords, stuff like that. A mace. All of the items in this showcase are up because they're used during visits by school groups, talks and reenactments. Okay. Then you've got some more helmets up there. Then we come into here to find more bits and bobs, which I'll get to in a minute. But first, we've got to cover this. And by this, I mean this amazing little railway. Still the way it was when I last came here. I haven't been here in years. Even though I live not too far from it and it's completely free to come and visit. But all the little details are incredible. I remember when I was younger they used to have Thomas the Tank Engine and Mavis from that show also running around on the tracks. Then over here we have some different railway bits, including hats and stuff, as well as a railway lamp. Now let's get into that bit that I just glossed over. So in here we've got a lot of the different paperwork that soldiers would have had or been given back in the day, as well as different medals. Again, medals are a very common thing here. From different bombs to a World War II helmet that was customised, I believe. These are all bits from the Battle of Britain. Down the middle though, we have even more little bits, like waxworks and stuff, including an old police officer's outfit. And over here, we have what is this actually? An old post office sorting room. This is what would have been how they did our post back in the day. They would have basically put it into these little boxes, and yeah, so it's quite incredible to see how it would have worked. In this next section we have a lot of old like phones, stuff like that, like landlines, stuff like that, typewriters, old cashiers, or cash machines and stuff. Like this one would have been used in shops and stuff. Candlestick style telephone, circa 1900 to 1930. And all these different bits. And then we've got like different record players, stuff like that. In here we've got all little different bits. I have what I assume is an old-fashioned tailor's shop. But then over here we have my favourite bit, even from when I was a child. This is the World War II Anderson shelter. When I was younger, I actually was able to do that myself. I was like 7, and it's the same air raid time from back then. They've got a baby's gas mask, which would have been used on infants back in the war. These Anderson shelters were lifesavers back in the day. Now the birds may have been thin, but they would have saved your lives in an air raid from when the Nazis were coming down, bombing us and just absolutely hammering us with bombs and stuff. Absolutely horrible period to live in. My nan and my pap, before he died, were remembered it well. Got like different clothing that they would have worn back in those days. Over here we have a 1940s kitchen. So this would have been basically what a kitchen looked like back in the 40s. So you would have had your pantry at the back. You would have had your window where the sink and stuff would be, along with your built-in chopping board. And then you would have had your stove, bread bin. Freezers and fridges were only just coming in, so not many people had them at the time. And then over here we have like basically different bits that you would have found in those households at the time. A lot of the time at night they would have used blackout curtains to hide themselves from the Nazis at night during their night air raids. This is an absolutely amazing display. In here we have all different like old pieces of kit that would have been used in the household, from ranging from an acne ringer. I don't know what one of those is, but that's apparently that. From some of the very first ever vacuum cleaners, which are actually quite cool. Then over here, I assume this would be some kind of store selling old like bits and bobs. You can even see one of the old checkout bits. You can see in some of these cabinets what they would have been selling, from soap pads to iron mould stain removers. All these different bits that would have been vital back in those days, before we had the machinery we do now. But that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll leave a link to this museum in the description below. I hope you guys come and visit it, because it is an amazing museum. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.